What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother Robert Mason for the $10 donation via the PayPal. Much respect to Robert Mason for showing love to Too Raw for TV, aka Too Raw for Sports. All right, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, if you're living in the state of Texas or Georgia or Ohio or Wisconsin, really any state, but especially those states where you have these high-profile races going on. We're in the general election campaign, and, right now, both sides are trying to see and trying to win your vote, trying to control the House and the Senate, which will have a lot of effect on the next couple of years as far as how things progress in Washington. Will Joe Biden have to work with a divided Washington with Republicans in control of the House and Senate, or will he be able to work with a House and Senate controlled by Democrats, which may help his ability to pass more of his agenda? We have to see. Anyway, in this particular video, I want to focus on an ad that Herschel Walker put out about Raphael Warnock. Just to do a brief summary, Raphael Warnock is the incumbent Democratic United States Senator. He was elected in a runoff election back in January of 2021, I believe. Herschel Walker is his extreme right Republican opponent, a Trump-backed Republican opponent, former Heisman Trophy winner, former NFL player. And in this particular ad, Herschel Walker tries to paint Raphael Warnock as a divisive candidate who's always screaming about race, whereas Herschel Walker, hey, I'm just a uniter, I'm just trying to bring us together. I'm just trying to bring us together. Yes, sir. It's the thing. It's annoying how in this country, right? Look, would I rather live in any other country right now other than the United States, me personally? No. I love the capitalist system. I am a huge fan of the capitalist system. I know some people say they aren't. I am. This is the best country in the world as far as being able to make money. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being able to make money or wanting to make money. And don't let anybody make you feel guilty about that shit. Okay, is America full of shit when it comes to its history? Absolutely. Is it a crime for a Raphael Warnock or anybody to bring up the fact that this country has a racist past? Absolutely not, because it's true. Okay? Is it wrong for someone to bring up the fact that there's still a lot of things in this country wrong? No. Look, one thing that's never going to go away is racism. It's never going to go away. When you have poorly educated people walking around, when you have people who need someone to blame, people with low self-esteem, people who are hate-filled, you're going to have racism. Matter of fact, I strongly believe that the more or less educated a person is, the more likely is they're going to be racist. All right? Fuck them. The average person walking around grumbling about niggers and all that, or whatever, fuck them. I don't give a fuck about them. They can kiss my ass. What I have a problem with is when a system allows these people to be in positions where they can influence others. Systemic racism, when you have people in positions of authority who harbor these views and weaponize their views to harm others, especially from a financial or even legal manner. At times, even utilizing their racism and weaponizing their racism using other forces like the police to even endanger people's lives. That's what I talk about when I say systemic racism. Look, the odds of a white woman being shot by the police on a random call are extremely low. I would put it at the same odds that a 70-year-old woman is going to get impregnated. But the odds of an 18-year-old black male being shot are substantially higher. Okay? You could argue about why is that the case, but it is the case. I know many people who have not gotten jobs, not just because of the color of their skin, but because of the hue of their skin. That's another thing. It's sometimes not even about color, but the hue of the color. There are some people who feel ignorantly that the darker you are, the less intelligent you are. I've heard people say they've heard hiring managers say that on the low. Why are these people in positions to hire people? So this is what I'm talking about. Like, don't act like this country is perfect. There are some things that still need to be resolved and need to be certain laws pushed to make this a quote unquote more perfect union. So no, there's nothing wrong with being an activist or, I guess that's the best word to put it, an activist politician. It aggravates me, people like Herschel Walker, whenever it comes to race, now all of a sudden you want to be, let's just be the administrator. Let's just be, let's just let things be. And these people are agitators. These people are agitators. People used to say that about Dr. King. He was an agitator. Now these same people like Herschel Walker want to evoke Dr. King. When these same coon-ass niggas like him 60 years ago would have been calling King an agitator. Fuck this motherfucking coon-ass nigga. Okay? But on the same tip, fuck Raphael Warnock too. And I'm not trying to denigrate anybody. If you've known him and he's a good guy, I'm not trying to say he's a bad person. But what I'm saying is, all in all, these politicians, especially black politicians, the last few years have been a sorry lot, okay, on both sides. All they do is cater to the party. They are thankful to be in those positions and nothing else. Do you really think that Herschel Walker, if he becomes a senator, is going to do anything except for cater to his base, cater to the ones that he is going to feel forever indebted to be in that position? All he's going to be is a Benson figure fucking butler and shit. You really think anybody's going to go to him for leadership in the Senate? He's going to be told what to say by his handlers. He's going to be told what to say by those in positions of authority within the Republican Party. But then again, the same thing to a lesser extent is true for Raphael Warnock. So if I was an average black voter, I wouldn't vote for either one of these motherfuckers. Okay? I do want to say this. What especially aggravates me about the Democratic Party is this. As much as we hate the Republican Party, they have no problems at least catering to their, or acknowledging, I won't say cater, acknowledging their strongest base, which are Trump voters, who are generally middle income, lower income white voters, all right? maybe not as educated as other people academically, but these same voters used to be part of the Democratic coalition for 40 to 50 years, from the days of the Great Depression and FDR all the way through the 1970s, when they slowly started breaking away on a national, then state, then local level, when the Democratic Party, from their perspective, began catering to other members of the party, black people, feminists, women, Native Americans, liberals, and the leadership of the Democratic Party began to change. It was less Southern Democrats and more of the Eastern establishment, liberal, bourgeois, upper class, upper crust, formerly liberal Republicans who, became elitists. The Democratic Party became more and more elitist. And the former base, they started going to the Republicans, who began to cater to those voters, the forgotten American and all of that. They became Reagan Republicans. And now they're Trump Republicans. But the Democratic Party will never cater or capitulate to its strongest base, that being black voters, because they don't want to upset the apple cart. And the biggest apples in that apple cart are white voters, who they have been hemorrhaging. And they're trying like crazy to do better with those voters. Our concerns right now, if you notice, are not in the headlines. Do you hear anybody talking about trying to fix the problems with equity as far as jobs or our communities? They're not talking about those issues right now. They don't cater to us. So, to me, why are we still voting for them? That's just my thing. Why are we voting for these clowns? Lesser two evils is not enough for me. I'm looking at other minor party candidates, seeing what they stand for, maybe voting out of protest, minor party, but I'm not voting for the top two candidates. I'm not voting for any of the major parties. And I think maybe the best thing we can do is teach the Democrats a lesson and not vote. Not vote, and especially when it comes to us black males. They always want to blame the losses. Already you see Stacey Abrams, who's down 5-6 points in her race against Brian Kemp for the governor's race in 2022. She ran 4 years ago in the early loss. You can already see them trying to set us up for the blame. As if we're supposed to just come right out and vote anyway. Even as if we can't see that we've become marginalized within the Democratic Party. As if we can't see that you threw us under the bus when it comes to the crime bill, which put hundreds of thousands, if not up to 1 million black men in prison that their white counterparts did not go to jail for. And that was under Clinton, not under Reagan, under Clinton, which meant that a Democratic president, as well as a Republican Congress, pushed that bill, as well as, matter of fact, I take that back, ladies and gentlemen. That was before Republicans took over Congress in November '94. That was before. So that was a Democratic Congress led by Democrats, plus the the Black Caucus, all pushed the okay on that bill, knowing that it was going to devastate the black community. So fuck them. Fuck them.